All right. Hey, everyone. Hope you all are doing good. Last time on Monday, we started working on some of our industry-specific pages. So things that would be like, oh yeah, we serve small businesses. We serve, oops, I'm trying to start my server while I'm talking, but like we serve real estate companies, brokerages, stuff like that. So while we were doing that, we had some issues getting our we wanted like a blog feed to show up. And so if I went to like our industries page and went to real estate, which I think is where I have the block set up, what I was doing before is initializing the block for the post to be used within both our rich text component, and then also our blocks. So the problem though is you can't use, or you can't query your database on the client side. So what was happening, for those who watched last time, I was getting an error that reminded me of the client side error. And the problem is that our rich text converter is being used on things like our form, which is a server component or a client component. It's used on things like our table of contents, which includes a client component. So we're not able to use our blog post feed in our rich text lexical field, and that's okay. I don't really need it. I just need it as a block. And so over here, I just commented it out. So like you can see that we've got the feed block and the feed component. And so just so you can see it in action, if I re-enable these, including the feed at the bottom here in our JSX converter, and I save it, once this refreshes, it'll likely break. And if it yeah, there we go. And so here, can't resolve FS. This is typically what you'll see when you have a server component trying to query data in a client component. So we can go ahead and get rid of all of this, fix that issue, because I don't really need it to be used in our lexical rich text field. So now that's back, that's good. And here I added a console log last time as well to show off all of the different docs that come in. So we have that ready to go as well. So now we can actually get to work on creating this blog feed that I wanted to include in this page. So we're going to get some stuff showing up. And here we can see this is our feed segment component. So we've got some work to do here, and right now I have it as querying all of the categories that are included in, suppose I should show the admin side of things. And so once that loads, I can show you. So we go to pages, we've got real estate, and if I scroll down, I've got this block, which is the feed block, and I'm manually adding a category. What I would prefer to happen is for my website to take the slug of the page that I'm on and use that as the category to query by. So right now, though, looking down here in my terminal, like it's just real estate, which is, it's an array because I'm mapping out all the different categories. So this has many. We could do a bunch of different categories, but I don't think that that's really necessary. I'd rather just use our slug, the industry slug, to use that. So we'll go ahead and just save that, and then let's get some stuff showing up here. So first things first is, I don't think this feed section actually exists. So what we'll do for the feed section is we're going to not use this section. We can do, what is it, section container I think I have, and then I need to change this here. And then I think I have a content container as well. Content container, I do indeed. And so we'll set this to be here. And then we don't really need this or this. And so we've got our header. And then I should be able to do a card section. We'll see how this actually works. Card section from cards. So right now it seems like we just have, oh no, postcard is what I'm looking for. Postcard. Is there, oh, yep, there's card row. So let's use that first. So card row, and this is going to take some children, which we will take out of our category, or not our categories, our response here. So let's change response to posts since that's going to be an array. And then we can add our posts.docs.map, and we'll post. Then we should be able to do this correctly, I think. So I think this actually needs to be at there. Postcard? Nope. Okay, so this should be parentheses like I thought. It just was not working like I wanted it to. There we go. So now I should just be able to put in our post, save, and see what happens. There we go. We've got our 2 cards. The error is that I need to have a key in here. Key equals, I think I can do post ID. Perfect. And both of these have the category of real estate. So that looks great to me. Of course, this image doesn't look great. So let's add a couple other images here. Of course, they're all going to be different thumbnails that I've got laying around. So we'll go back to our posts. We can come and look and see if we have we don't have our meta in here, and that's okay. So, better yet, we can go to our categories, go to real estate, and here we can actually go to our related docs and we can edit them from here. So let's edit this one and add a different thumbnail here. So we'll create a new, select a file, and just take, this one. This is a thumbnail from a live stream back in December. We can say that this is me, I'm a person, that's a website, and then this is test thumbnail 1, and just a bunch of gobbledygook there. So now if I save this, come back here, that payload image should go away, and these actually look like real cards again. And so we just expand that out. And so here, right now we're just querying things with real estate, but say we had one for our small business that got jacked up, that's fine. So we go to pages, and then we can go to our small business. And for now, we're going to add a new block, which is going to be our feed block. We work with small businesses, and then set an anchor as content feed again, just because it's going to be a block that takes small business as a value. So I hit save there. We're at small business here. If I refresh this, this is the only small business post we have. And so now, wouldn't it be great if we could just use this bit of the slug to populate the query, not even the query that I'm thinking of. To populate the where query of the category. So that is what I'd like to work on. And also I want to work on, right now I've got localhost 3000 small business as well. So that's not exactly what we're looking to do. We want to make sure that this is only accessible through industries, because what if we had portfolio small business or about small business? All of those would not work, and we'd have some intersecting routes because our small business is used in the home route as well. And so we don't want that. So that may end up making it an individual collection, but I might try just that's what the live coding sessions is all about, is making sure, or checking and seeing if there's a different way to do something that I don't know about yet. But let's start with the path name, because I think that's going to be easier to figure out. So we'll stick with small business for now. And then I know that we're going to need a client component in order to get that. Sorry, my brain just broke. We're going to need a client component to get the path name, because this is not going to be anywhere where I can receive params. And I don't think I can pass params down to blocks, at least not easily. So we'll figure that out here in a minute. Oh, I thought I broke everything again. Let's just make sure stuff still works. Oh, look. Yeah, the image went everywhere. Perfect. Now I've got category 2, 3, etc. All right, perfect. So we'll go back to real estate. I don't need to keep logging these categories or the feed type, but the feed type comes in handy if there's multiple, like if we have webinars or white papers or anything like that. So we'll stick with what we have here, and then we just need to figure out a way to get our slug, the query params, from here and pass it into our server component. And so here is going to be a great time to ask nextjs, which actually we can just do pass client or pass path name to server component next.js. And this is what every developer does. Nobody has all of this memorized. I don't want to use middleware. That seems a little excessive. We can use client. Well, we can't make this into a client component because we're querying data, so that's not going to work. Middleware. Well, let's see what Stack Overflow has to say. All right. So it looks like middleware might be the way to do it. So that's not stellar. I don't love that. So I don't think we're going to do this unless y'all know a different way. So I think it's not important to do it this way unless I can just do it like this instead of middleware using headers. So let's see what happens. We're here to experiment. That's what I want to do. And if this doesn't work, then it's not a big deal. We can just leave it with a category selector. And then that way, honestly, it may make more sense anyway. So I can also include real estate here for small businesses just to show an example. And then we have all three cards here, real estate and small business, sorted by date. So it could come in handy, but let's go ahead and see what happens when we try this. First, let's get rid of real estate for small business. Hit save. So it looks like this is, this header's not available, no longer supported. So this probably won't work, but let's take a look just to see what happens. So I'm going to import our headers from next headers, and we'll just see what this does. Headers list equals headers. And let's see what's available to us. So we'll come in here. We don't need feed type, so we'll just log headers list. See what happens. What? So maybe I just skip that and just do headers here. Okay. So headers list. We just get to experiment a little bit here. That's all. So I have a feeling that this does not exist anymore. It just seems excessive to try and use middleware to do this. So we know none of this works. Okay, so let's think this through. So if I use a client component here, I'm no longer able to query. So really I need the params to be passed down to the blocks, which I don't think is possible, but maybe it is. So let's take a look here at our blog, or I guess our posts. Is that what that is? Yeah, it's posts. Okay. And then we've got our URL. And so we got our slug. If we can come down to render blocks. And I wonder, does page layout have, no. So if we go into render blocks and have it take, is there anything else that this will take? You know what? I don't think that this is that important. Oh, I don't want to give up too easy though. So let's make sure that this is still working, which it may not be because I still have headers here. So let's get rid of that. All right, so this is not going to be worth our time. Maybe I can look at it and bring back some other news there, but I think this is going to just use this feed category here and let us use we work with small business. And so we'll just do our own category search there. I don't think it's the end of the world. So I think we're in good shape here.